Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it is Julian MT, and I am very excited here to bring you another segment of Trading the Blues. But this is a special request from MT himself, and video is about when not to trade the blues. When not to trade the blues, guys. When not to trade the blues. That's what the video will be about. Put it on paint. Just to show some visual, but also show some video as well. The video shouldn't be too long, and if you follow these rules, you won't lose against the blues, and you will win the whole trading session. That's how important the blues are to me. Because let's be real, there's not normally a pair that's not going to have a blue in it. Okay? It tells you a lot. So let's just go over a few of these things, and then I'll go into the video and explain why. The first one, which is going to be, do not, I know against is spelled wrong, do not go against any 3-0 long term. So any 1, 2, 3, there's 1, 2, 3. On UJ, there's 1, 2, 3. Do not go against any 3-0 long term. The other key important one is don't trade against any 1 and 4 hour supers. So don't trade against any 1 and 4 hour supers. So for example, this right here, don't trade against that. 1 hour, 4 hour supers. Don't trade against that, okay? And a few other tips. Don't trade without any help. So blue super arrows, those are good on both the 5 and 15. Those are with help. Here's a little advanced trading. Don't trade it facing a cross directly, especially a 5-minute cross. And also the 15, don't do it on the 15-minute as well, but sometimes it's a little harder. Those might work, but 5 minutes, don't take them on the cross. And by that I mean this section right here. Don't trade that going down. It doesn't have anywhere to go besides right there. It's too steep. I'll show an example by that what I mean. And don't trade just one blue super arrow. It doesn't qualify the trade. Ask yourself, does the 15-minute have an arrow facing the same direction? What about the 1 hour? And if it does, ask yourself where could it go and where is it bouncing? Some other potential reversal to the orange road. If the trend is winning, that means the blue is losing, and vice versa. If the blue is winning, the trend is losing or on a retracement. Be a trending trader. Be a trending arrow trader. Don't go against the blues, argument trade, or reasoning trading. Okay, let's hop into the video and let's refer to some of these things that I was talking about. So for the first example, don't go against 3-0 zeros. Now, the first blue on the EU, Euro USD, going down, it ended up failing. I only recorded the end session of it, but it failed and went up. Now you have your blue and your blue, and this trade, I would say it is okay to take. I mean, that's pretty reasonable to go to the orange line, at least the orange line. And for those who haven't watched, I will be referring to the orange line a lot. Kevin's video, Kevin the Sniper, and also Nico's strategy works pretty well with this as well. So they go hand in hand, and let me show you why. So this EU trade to the downside is a good trade. It's 1 down, 2 down, and it's a blue. So to the orange line is where it goes. And it wins. So now we have a 15 with it. So now we thinking that with momentum, the 15 can go to the orange line. And that's where it'll go through the orange line. I should just show that it goes to the orange line. All right, you even have your 1 hour, and now you have your 4 hour pointing down. It's so quick how things can change. So again, don't go against 3-0 to the upside. Right here, it's too steep. You would have lost on this blue arrow if you have a proper stop loss, but you would have lost. Possibly. That's not a good trade to take on the blues. Okay, let's see. So, for example, on the cross, it's something like this 5-minute UJ, USD JPY. This cross is, it's basically on the rise. Like it's at the very top. So we don't want to trade that to the downside. We don't want to trade because the price is right there. We don't want to trade. And if you're not perfect, by all means, get your pips. That's 3 pips. But do you really want to risk, your account because you're trying to take this down when this is trending to the upside? Like, is that really something? Shortly after it goes up. So you can take those 3 pips, but I wouldn't risk that cross or even this 15-minute crossing. Okay, that's just a simple video. Let's get to the next one. Okay, this is November 13th. Another little segment in this part. Let's see. Okay, so this GU, perfect. This GU is a trade that has already won with the blues. You already had your signals, and they're pointing down. It gives you more. That's about 7 pips that it gave. So about a 5 pip move. That's about the time you want to look for ups anyways. But you do have your blue super pink on the 15-minute. And it does look like it's a cross on the 15-minute pointing to the upside. So I would leave that alone. And I can even clarify that with the signals going up. You have the 1 hour, the 4 hour pointing to the upside. It's been trending all the upside, and now you have your 15-minute. So technically, if we really look at this, we know that the 5-minute, just in play, the 5-minute is going to touch the orange band, which it did, because the 15-minute is pointing down. And we're looking to try to take it down, but really we're looking for ups. And through the whole day, ups are just way stronger. I mean, once we get through the GU on that cross, it just shows really no momentum. And all those trades, this is too tight. The cross right here is not letting you get any type of trade. So unless you're going for 3 pips and you're good at scalping and good at entry points, this is not the trade for you at this point. It's not the trade for you. Even this is not the trade for you to be taking. That's a good price and it goes up, but this going down is not the trade for you. It's not the trade for us. It's not the trade for me. Hopefully it's not the trade for anybody. Okay, and let's see. The next one I want to speak about is the UJ. You have your blue on the 15-minute charts, and you did have your blue super pink yellow go down and also correlated, but once again, you don't want to go against these long-term signals. This red arrow just appeared. You don't want to go against a 3-0 to the upside, or even a super arrow that was just there and there's 2 of them. That's one of the rules. Don't trade against any 1 and 4 hour super arrow. And as you see, this blue is hit at the top of the band, and it just never gives you any signal to take it back down. It never gives you help on the 15-minute. It never gives you help, and just continues to rise. And as you see on the 15-minute, how this cross is just keep going up. Look at this. This is 1, 2, 3. These are 3 super arrows, 3 O's to the upside, and we're looking for ups. This blue doesn't tell us it's going to go to the 15-minute orange line. It's just going to tell us it's going to be slow, and it may potentially reverse. And there's no signals that tells us to go down. I mean, it even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It even turns into a 5-0, 5-0 to the upside. So, letting you know, don't go against 3 zeros to the upside. Okay, or the downside. Don't go against 3 zeros, period. Last video. Okay, this is another video just explaining when not to trade the blues. This one is very good to show. This is a very good video. I like this session, I like this day, and this is probably the best video I have of when not to trade the blues. So just follow me and journey into my mind of when not to trade the blues so we all can be successful. So we're going to look at the Euro USD. The 5 minute is telling us that it can go into the golden road. And go and touch the golden road. Now following Kevin's or even Nico's strategy, you won't be able to even take this up because you only have a 5 and you don't even have a 15 pointing to the upside. You don't even have a 1 hour pointing to the upside. So this strategy in itself won't even qualify as working. Now you do have your cross going to the upside. It is kind of steep, it's pointing down. You don't have any help for the 15 minute going to make it go up. So only possible thing you can look for is go with the trending arrows. This 1 hour and 4 hour signals are the trending arrows of this current Euro USD right now. Those are going to the downside. So we're not looking for ups. These are super arrows. We're looking for downs. So the only thing that this can do is go to the orange road and bounce down. This will go to the orange road if there's no 15 and then bounce down. And you do have your help. You do have your blue on the 5 and 15, and it does flatline. It does give you a pretty good move. About a 3-ish pip move. And if you're looking at it in time, if you're actually watching the momentum bars, and if you got in, let's say like right here, right there when it flashed 2, I mean, that's pretty much, you're kind of risking it. You're going against this 1 hour and 4 hour correlation. Unless you want those 3 pips, that's a good trade. That's reasonably fine to take because you got your 5 and you got your 15. But if you don't have good entry, that's a loss, and it goes right back down. And tries it again, 5 and 15. Now you're seeing this 15 minute about to cross to the downside, and you just see it. It doesn't want it at all. It doesn't want to give you any pips to the upside. This 1 hour and 4 hour super arrows, the trending super arrows going down, is just too strong. And it just gets beat up. The blue just gets beat up and beat up and beat up. Don't have any help. Don't have any help. Don't have any help. So unless you have help on the blue, it's not gonna give you any pips. Right here, this is another potential trade that we can take. So we have a blue on the 5 minute. We have a blue on our 15 minute. There's about 2 more minutes till this gets a new signal. We're going against a 1 hour and 4 hour correlation, but we're trying to take it up, and we have the daily pointing up. So that right there, and we argument trade to take. The trend is up on the 1 hour, 4 hour, and pointing up, and also on the 15 minute, right? So we're looking for ups. The trend is up, and so you see these blues, and you may think to yourself, okay, these blues, this is going to be the turn of the reversal. But you have to follow your signals. You have to follow the help, and you have to follow the signals. You get a red minute 5 minute red, you get your pink arrow, and you don't get too much more than that. I mean, you have this trade here, but the only thing is going to go is to the orange road. The 1 hour is down, and there's no 15. So the only place that this arrow can go is to the orange road because it has one arrow, so it goes to the orange road and then bounces right down. For the same example, we'll take a look at the UJ going to the upside, and you have your 5 minute in play. It went up, and this is coming from Julian MT. So we know in the room that we've seen this cross. So that's a very good sign that, hey, this is going to touch the top of the band. You know, this is going to keep rising because we've seen it in the room actually cross. And you go to your 1 and 4 hour, and you have 1 and 4 hour correlation. This is kind of, you have a super on the 4, and that's like a pink yellow. So it's not really super, but I would still be looking to go with the direction of the UJ of the 1 and 4 hour going to the upside, because that correlates with this 5 minute blue. So when not to take the trade, when not to take the trade, right here is a perfect example of when not to take the trade. I mean, you have your 1 and 4 hour super arrow correlation, and your trending arrows is going to the upside. You have great momentum. You have a 2 minute just eating to the upside. You have a 5 minute going to the upside, and you have the 15 minute trending to the upside. Now you have your blue on the 15 and blue on the 5, and we're going to analyze it. And if we get any momentum, okay, there's a little bit of momentum right here, but that's not enough to get us in the trade against a 1 and 4 hour correlation. This little momentum, it only has the potential to go to the orange road. I mean, it's not even a super arrow, and I mean it makes it almost to the orange road, but it doesn't quite give you those pips. And that is the orange road. That is the blue trade to the downside. That is what the blue did. That's what it did, and those are the signals to confirm that it went to the orange road and bounced up. Now you have the UJ 15 minute about to cross, and you have your blue once again getting some red momentum, and that would have been a good trade. From here to here would have been possibly a good trade. Now, this is one of those things though. Reason why I have to show this is because this exact part, I mean, I'm in the session, I'm in the room, and I'm looking at the UJ down. How come I want to take the UJ down instead of looking and take the GU down? The GU down works way better. And Nico, shout out. You got your 5, you got your 15, and you got your hour pointing down, and you had your momentum, blue super arrow, super pinks. That is a trade. That's a Nico trade, Nico's way. I mean, that's what I would see too. To break it down further, you got your 5 minute pointing down, you got your 15 minute pointing down, so those are both to the orange road potentially, and you got your 1 hour. So that is a trade, and that's a trade. So why would we want to look at the UJ and see, and it looks like it's gonna cross that little 15 minute? That candle, this candle is on the cross. You get it? Like this candle, the candle is on the cross. Like it's technically on the cross. You're looking for bad setups. You want to look for good setups. Like, for example, the GU. It's further away. The blue, it's blue from the orange line. It's pretty far away. It's not as steep as, this right here, trying to go some steep. That's very steep. Or even this one. This is kind of flat. You know, the UCAT is kind of flat. Up here is a little steep if you try to take it up here. But you're getting your signals pointing down, but it's still, you know, still flat. Now, you got your DX flashing, you got your UJ flashing about 1 bar. You got your 15-minute signal in, and you're trying to trade against a 1 and 4 hour super arrow correlation. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I mean, no matter how much the DX flashes, why risk a trade when you can be positive and win? So why take this UJ down and try to get 3 pips? Which, if you're BB, that's a good trade if you got it up here. But we're not BB, so why would you risk 3 pips, your whole account, for this little move? You don't. You don't trade it. And it goes up. And see again, look at this. The 15 minutes even more in a bind now. So that right there signifies it's not going to do its job. It's not going to cross, you know. Crosses, when a blue tries to cross on a cross like that, it's not going to work. About 9 times out of 10, I would say that it will not cross. Like it will continue to rise. That's how you know how to trade a blue. I mean, how to trade, not to trade a blue. And then once again, the 1 hour and 4 hour, they're trending. You know, they have trending arrows for the moment right now, and we're going to the upside. You see this pair go all the way up. You thinking of a reversal because the trend is down, right? But when not to trade the blues, do not trade them on the crosses. So that's all I have for the session of when not to trade the blues. Go over the rules again. Do not trade the blues against a 3-0 system. Do not trade them without any help. So let it have a blue or even a red, a yellow. This is, I want to show this. This is part of my video of my 15-minute blues. Just the last part of it. So I actually ended up taking this trade to the downside right. Okay, so we get our 5-minute super arrow pointing down, and from what I know, that just using the blues and logic here, it hasn't went into the golden road yet. So this looks like a good trade to go down. You got your green oil, you got your red momentum bars on the UCAD, and that looks like the trade. You have a flashing 15-minute red. So if that goes away, that makes it 1, 2, 3. You know, Nico's way to go to the downside. Or if you don't see it like that, the 5-minute is going to the orange road, but you got your 1 hour signal, so it's going to the purple band. And now you're looking, if you didn't take the trade up here with that momentum, you're looking for a new 5 to go up. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for a new 5 to go to the upside. Now without that signal, without that momentum bars flashing, it's not gonna work. And it drops, the UCAT drops, and it drops, and that's pretty much it. So another, for whoever's trading the blues on the 15-minute, by the way, this crossing right here on the 2-minute, this signifies that this will go to the purple band. Now watch how this purple band actually comes up. See, starting to come up. You're getting your signals, and it actually comes even more up. So that's it. Like right here would be the end of the trade. I mean, there's no reason. That's close enough to the band from the 15-minute to the bottom band. That's pretty much it. It's not going to give you any more pips. You got your 5-minute super pink pointing to the upside, so that's more of the trade we want to take. It's more successful. I know I'm falling off topic, but just to show what MT shows, because it's beautiful seeing this UCAD work this way. And like, look at the GU work. The 5-minute red, the trend is up. If you're looking for ups, you now got a 5-minute, a 15-minute pointing to the upside, but you don't have your 1 hour. So, but you don't have your 1 hour. You wait for your green momentum, and it's very slow. It's very slow, and you get your green momentum. You get your pink arrow. You get your super arrow pointing to the upside, and once again, any 5-minute red, any 5-minute arrow is going to go to the orange road with momentum. That's what we look for. If it has a 15, the 15 arrow will go to the orange road. If not, it's heading to the purple band if it's past it. So this 5 and this 15 is signifying that it's going to the purple band. But we're just going to play off the orange band, and we have our 5 and 15, and we know that it works. Goes to the orange band, gives our pips. Now we have even more. Another 15 pointed to the upside. So this is a trade that we would want to take. Just saying, this super pink going to the upside is the better trade rather than this 5-minute going to the downside, trying to take it more down. As you see, the blue went to the bottom band. Okay, guys, that is it. That is it. Take a picture, screenshot this page. It's kind of sloppy, but it's not really sloppy. If there's any questions in the room, just ask me when not to trade the blues. When not to trade the blues. Ask yourself these questions every time. Is it against a 3-0 or is it against a 1 and 4 hour super? If it's not any of those, now look to see if it's facing a cross directly. If the next arrow is pointing directly down on the cross, it's not a good trade. Be this trader. Take this trade because of 1, 2, 3, 4. Be that trader because of the 4-1 down.